In this video, we're going to show you how to use the personnel templates in Gravity. To open a personnel template, double-click on the personnel template. Here we see a table of all the employees of your organization, their departments, their rates. We also see their salaries, which you can be broken up by month. And then at the very end, we see all the totals. For instance, their annual salary before and after COLA, what their benefits are, and their total salaries and benefits. If we wanted to add an employee, we would first have to go to the resource tables, which is external to the HR template. To access the resource tables, we'll click on Data, Budgeting, Resource Tables, and here we would click on Employees. And we click Open. Here we see a table of all the employees at our organization. To add an employee, we would click on the plus sign up here. Then we would enter in our employee code, enter in their name, and then we would click Save. One important thing to note is you cannot remove users from the resource table. Rather, if someone retires or if someone moves to a new position, if we wanted to remove them from our table, edit the pencil icon in the far right, and then click on this checkbox saying Active, and then click Save. Once we get back to the HR template, we will see here that Michael Miller is still in his position, and if we wanted to remove him from this position, we go to the far right and click on the Delete key. We say yes to delete this record, and this will automatically populate the tables. Now let's add our new employee. We go to the far right, click on Add Row. A caveat to this is that your organization will have a unique set of parameters that need to be associated with each employee. This video will not show how your organization's HR template will function, rather the general idea of how they work. First thing we'd want to do is select a position. This might depend on your organization, whether it's the department, position, or job title. We're going to give this guy, and we added our new employee here as a software engineer, assign their primary team, their department, their FTE, annual hours, for instance, hourly rate. But one thing that's very important to note is that we have to set our allocations before we can click Save. If we do not have our allocations, we cannot click Save. Let's click on the Allocations tab. In the Allocations tab, we see that we can add an allocation. The allocations are how your budgeting is made more accurate. For instance, if this employee's salary was to come partially out of the job center and out of this coaching program, but then also another amount was supposed to come out of member operations in the recruitment side, adding this will allow you to make the proper allocations, thereby keeping your budgeting accurate. Another note, your allocations must always equal 100%. If they do not equal 100%, we will not be able to click Save. Then we can click Save. We have added our new employee here at the bottom. Now let's go through the entire table. If we wanted to select, change up anything that we added for this new employee, we could click on this pencil and change hours. He needs to work more hours, or he's getting paid too much. Let's pay him less. We can change up anything we want in this tab, but one thing that's very important is to always click on the Save button after you have completed your work. At this stage, let's look at the benefits. The benefits are calculated in 3 different ways. We can either have a percentage rate, we can have a flat rate, indicated by the 1, or we can have an attribute value. Attribute value is a unique way to calculate your benefits in Gravity. If you want to use this as an attribute value, you will need to go over to this table and add different steps that this benefit can be applied at. To remove a step, we just simply click the Delete button. One important thing to know is we can look up what our benefits will be called by name here in the top left, or in the attribute, lookup attribute. In this case, we'll move over here, and we see that we only have the one benefit, and it is called Fringe, just as it is called in the Benefits Premium tab. The last thing we're going to cover today is the COLA steps. The COLA steps is a little bit simpler than the benefits. In this case, if we wanted to add a different rate of COLA for anybody, we could say add a row. Let's call this half-time employees, and we'll give them a rate of 3%. Click Save. Now we will have to go back and change this in the personnel cost. Let's go here to the position cost, and if we click on the gears for this bottom employee, we can then begin to change their COLA allocations. That's it for our video on HR templates.